besties, welcome back to another video. This one's just going to be a little bit of a chit chat. I wanted the video to be a little bit structured, but I think I want to just talk to you from the heart. I just got done watching a video from Life in Numbers. I'm sure you guys know who she is. She is another creator, and she had a breakout video, which is where she talked about her when she got laid off, and that video kind of went viral on a few different platforms, and that's how I found her. And so she had a video that came out today that is actually called The Hidden Realities of Being Unemployed. And number one, I just want to shout her out. And if anyone here doesn't know who she is, if you can please head over to her channel to learn about who she is and hopefully subscribe. But she's another creator, a finance creator, and she has been going through unemployment. She's been unemployed for now 9 months. And one of the things that I was actually going to do a video about this, I actually recorded the video last week, but I felt like I was kind of like all over the place. All of my thoughts weren't coming out as clear as I wanted to, so I didn't upload the video. And then I was like, I wonder if I should upload the video, you know, like, I don't know. But after looking at her video, I was like, you know what? I think I really should circle back and kind of talk about really what are the realities of being unemployed. You know, everyone's story is different, but I saw a lot of the similarities in her story, and I just kind of want to talk about mine. I do notice and have noticed that there are a lot of people who are still unemployed. There are people who are furloughed. And even a lot of the besties, you guys are telling me, like, you know, I'm still praying for my yes. I'm still praying for my time to come. And I just want to kind of talk about, you know, the realities of being unemployed, and really like the emotional toll that it can take on you. And I'm not far removed at all. It's almost as if I have PTSD, to be honest with you, because even though I'm really happy and I'm thankful, and I just, you know, praise God for opening the door, a year of what I went through, it doesn't go away in a day or two or three. It's been 3 days since I've been since I've been removed from unemployment, and not far removed. So I just kind of want to, there were some kind of things that she talked about that I want to touch on to maybe help someone also in their journey. And just so that you know that you're not alone. You are not alone at all. There was a period of time where I kind of did stop talking about my unemployment because, well, excuse me, I didn't stop talking about my unemployment. I stopped talking about the job search, and there was a reason why I stopped talking about it, and we'll kind of discuss that. But let's just hop into it because I don't want this video to be too long. But the first thing that she talked about was the psychological toll that it can take on a person being unemployed. I will tell you that there were so many days that I was sad. My emotions were literally up and down to the day. I never knew what could trigger, just outside of being just unemployed and not receiving a paycheck, but what could trigger my emotions. And I could wake up happy and I can go to sleep sad. I could wake up sad and go to sleep happy. I could wake up happy. In the middle of the day, I'm sad. And then at the end of the day, I am happy again. It just, you know, it was literally an emotional roller coaster. I just don't even know how else to explain it. Being a year unemployed, I can tell you, because like at the end it got better. At the end of my unemployment it got better because I decided to release everything to God, and that peace really lifted me. But before, it was just like, I'm putting in these applications, and some of the interviews I would get callbacks, and I would complete the interviews, and then either it was just something that would happen, and I felt so forgotten about. That almost made me cry. I felt so forgotten about from God. I felt like, I don't understand how people who, because sometimes you might even fall into the comparison game. I don't even understand how people who don't even serve you, people who don't even believe in you, are telling me that they've gotten jobs, and I am sitting here, your child, and you have not provided that yes or that open door for me. And I was, I was upset at God. I was angry. I didn't understand. It even makes me emotional right now as I talk about it. That's how tough it was. Even though there's so many of us going through it, you still feel isolated and alone in that season. Because for me, it really didn't. Receiving the no's did become easier. I will say that. However, they really didn't become easier. I remember I had got one no. There was an interview that I did really, really good. Like, I bombed the interview. But I didn't pass the assessment test. And I got the news while I was at Disneyland. Like, I was like, are you kidding me? I wanted to cry in the middle of Disneyland. But I said, no, let me just keep pushing and keep pushing. And it's just, and Life in Numbers, she talked about how it's been 9 months and it's never taken her this long to find a job. That's the same story for me. It has never in the history of my life taken me a year to find a job. I would find a job in a month like that. So that definitely, I can definitely relate. And that was tough. The emotional roller coaster was definitely tough. Just really being in denial when it first happened, and then accepting it, and then mourning the job, and then now I have to pick myself up and learn how to find a job. Like, it was just so much. It was just really a lot. So that was one thing. And then she talked about, feeling isolated. I definitely did after a while. And the reason why was because there were people that I knew, like, it was like enough people that I knew who didn't have jobs. And when I tell you that every single person found a job, I then felt isolated. That was one of the reasons why I stopped talking about it, because I felt like, oh my goodness, Lord, I know people who didn't have to interview for jobs and they got the job. I know people who interviewed for jobs and they got the job, like, real quick. Like, their unemployment went like that. They weren't unemployed no longer than 3 months. I just knew so many people where their scenarios were kind of the same, but they found jobs and I was still unemployed. So then, I felt like I didn't feel like I wasn't good enough, but I just didn't understand the conflict. I didn't understand the barrier. And because I was looking at it more spiritually, I just didn't understand. I was like, God, what are you doing? Like, what is it? I started to think, like, did I sin? I don't know. Like, what did I do? What didn't I do? Examining my life at this point. That's probably why I was like really reading Job, because I'm like, I just don't get it. I don't get how and when I say everybody, everybody had found a job and I still didn't. So it wasn't that I felt isolated, but I will tell you, one of the things that she talked about was having a circle around her that was really supportive. And I cannot thank my circle enough, who really stepped in and provided help. I mean, from emotional help and, you know, talking to me and supporting me emotionally and financially. The amount of support of, you know, my friends and family who would pay for things for me, who paid bills for me, who took me on a trip. One of my good friends took me on a whole trip and we stayed 5-star. Like, the amount of support, that's like, you can't take that for granted. Everybody doesn't have that. One, because maybe they're just, you know, maybe people just don't want to do it, or sometimes people just can't do it. They can't provide that help and assistance. So I just thank God for putting people in my life who are able to stand in the gap when needed to. And then when I am able to, I am that support to them as well. I will support you in a minute, emotionally and financially. So I didn't really feel isolated in that point. I did feel isolated sometimes, more towards the end, when it was just like, okay, I'm really on an island alone, I feel like, because everybody else got their job and they have moved on. And then she talked about, I think, having an identity crisis because you are applying for these jobs and you either get ghosted or maybe the interview doesn't work out. And like I said, I really didn't have that per se. There were times, and I've talked about this before, where people would be like, oh, why don't you apply for this or apply for that job? Like, certain, like, you should be working retail and stuff like that. And, you know, I tried. I put in retail applications. I put in applications where there were certain applications I didn't put in because I couldn't afford to make a certain amount of money. You know, I have a mortgage. I have a high HOA. Like, I have bills, you know, so but I was getting to the point where I was like, okay, Lord, is this what I am going to have to do? Even though I did do it, like, I applied for retail jobs. I applied for jobs where it would not have been in leadership, like certain jobs. I did apply for those. And those are the ones who didn't call me back. All of the interviews that I had, they were all for leadership roles, with the exception of one. And I'm going to do a video all about that. But I did apply for jobs that I was overqualified for, and I didn't hear anything back from them. So, you know, that was even hard when it was like, okay, well, let me just apply for the job and maybe, you know, I could start from the bottom and move my way up. That didn't even happen. Like, yeah, especially when I'm in school and I'm literally at the door of my degree and I'm applying for jobs that I'm in school for, HR, human resources. And I'm getting all the no's from human resources because they're like, you've never been in the department before. Well, what in the world did I just go to school for? I don't understand. Like, and I know why I went to school, and my degree is helping. But because I wanted to go in the area of HR, like, I've done the HR. And then the thing is, people say, oh, you have transferable skills, yada, yada. Well, I applied for I even applied for entry-level HR jobs, and they all said no. I'm like, I have done all of these functions, but because I didn't hold human resources title, that was an issue. So that was tough. And then I guess I'll talk just about one more thing, because this video is, I don't know how long it is, but I don't want it to be too long. She talked about like the hidden cost of being unemployed, and that's, she ain't lying, y'all. Like, I had to pay for the special feature on LinkedIn, because I wanted to be able to reach out to recruiters, and I believe you can only do that on the pro plan, or I don't know what it's called, but I remember I was trying to do it for free and I didn't have enough credits or whatever it was, so I had to end up upgrading to that plan so that I could reach out and have a better opportunity to reach out to recruiters, which was a help to me. So I had to pay for that. There are other tools and resources, even like ChatGPT. In order for me to use the feature where I was able to do my mock interviewing, I had to upgrade my ChatGPT plan. So I had to pay $20 for that. And then I also had to pay for, I use JobScan. I love JobScan though. I had to pay for that, and that one wasn't cheap. So she's not lying. There's a lot of things you have to pay for. Like, I had to make sure my hair looked nice when I went on these interviews. I had to make sure, like, I didn't have, when I went on my first interview from like the job that I really wanted, I didn't have a suit jacket. I had to go buy a suit jacket. I had to buy a suit. Like, that stuff costs money, you know? And those are the hidden costs that, you know, people don't talk about. And I didn't have any suits because I had been working remote for the last 5 years, and I don't know what happened to my suits, but I didn't have any suits left. So I was like, oh my goodness, what am I can't go to interview looking crazy. I have to, but I wore that same suit. Y'all saw the suit. I wore that same suit to every interview. But you know, those are the things that, oh, what's happening in there? Those are the things that, you know, is I won't say it's minimized, because I think that we talk about it. I think that I've seen enough people express how difficult it is. And I just want to encourage, you know, if you are still looking, please don't stop. Your yes is coming. I know exactly how you feel. Your yes is coming. Trust God. Trust God. I tell the story. This is my testimony. You know, once I finally let go and just say, you know what, God, this is your problem. You're going to have to fix it. That is when he stepped in and gave me the yes, when I finally released my hands off of it. And the no's, they got better, literally a teeny bit. They didn't get better so much. Hearing no, for me, is not, you know, I'm not one of those kind of people who's like, oh, let me say no. And then here's another thing, because I think she talked about, you know, her being able to make money on YouTube, which I'm able to make money on YouTube as well. However, the money wasn't moneying like the money was moneying before. Before, I can make anywhere between $3,000 to $5,000 a month on YouTube. It wasn't rocking like that. So I'm like, okay, people are telling me, oh, you could just be a full-time creator. That would be nice. But there are certain things that I had to worry about, like healthcare. I got to pay for that. Like, I can't, the inconsistency of YouTube and what they're going to pay, it has so much stress on me that I couldn't even create. I couldn't create. I'm like, I'm so stressed that I can't create, because I don't want to create within the back of my mind that I need to be able to, I'm creating so I can pay my bills. That is not how I want to create. I want to create from my heart, and then where that takes me, it takes me. But to create, to pay bills, nah. That didn't work out for me. It was too much stress, because if you don't make a sale, if a video doesn't do good, then now I'm even more stressed because of the time and energy that I put into this. It's not yielding the money that I need in order to live. So Yeah, sorry, I somehow remembered that I didn't want to leave that part out, because I do not want to be a full-time creator. And I've talked about that at this moment. Who knows what may happen in the future, because I do want to continue to grow, but that it's never been like a desire of mine. And yeah, so anyway, I just want to continue to say, don't give up, keep going. I'm rooting for you. I'm praying for you. I really do want to bring back prayer Mondays, and I'm trying to get this whole work schedule, trying to get used to it, but it is going to be, there are going to be some things that are going to come. But I just wanted to kind of talk about my experience, with what did she call it? The hidden realities of being unemployed, because I don't think I will ever forget this. I don't think I will ever forget the way that I felt. But really, since I'm really close to it, I wanted to talk about it and not forget anything. So I hope that this video has been helpful, and just see me as a testimony. Your yes is coming. Your yes is coming. And I am so praying that, even everybody who's been furloughed will be called back to work soon. I could only imagine even how that is, like going to work and not getting paid. I know that they're going to get their money, but still, like that's a lot. So I'm praying for you guys. And my granddaughter just walked in, so I'm going to really just go ahead and have to end this video. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Go be great, besties. Peace out.
She's special and she reckless. Baby, you're my bestest friend. Yeah, she my bestie. My love for you is endless. Nobody else can end it. And when I get the money back, then baby girl, you can spend it. And everything is alright. I like how you do it.